What is up, Interceptor Squad? Welcome back to a beautiful New England day. As you guys can see, don't get too many of these. Last couple of days, actually all week, has been crappy weather. Last weekend, Saturday going into Sunday, we had a little snowstorm, not a lot of snow, but snow. And then right after that, we got rain. Temperatures dropped to as low as 3 degrees. So the rain froze over. We had black ice all over the roads. And then every day after that has pretty much been rain. Cloudy weather, windy weather. Today's the first good day out of the whole week that actually come out and film for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I decided to do an overall review of my car because I've had it for a while now. I bought it with 83,000 miles, currently got 91,000, 2014 Police Interceptor Sedan. Still don't got that push bar, but I do have a buddy who has a heated garage. He lives all the way in Connecticut, but I'm gonna see if one of these days I can go there and maybe try to reinstall it again, because it really is killing me not having the push bar on this car. The car looks so much better with the push bar on, but that's besides the point. Alright, so before we do some point of view driving, I just want to tell you guys some information about it. It's a 2014 Ford Police Interceptor Sedan. It's the 3.7 liter V6 all-wheel drive version. At the end of the day, I think Ford makes the best police vehicles in the business, no doubt about it, hands down. But yeah, anyway, let's go into the cockpit. I'm gonna put the GoPro head strap on, do some point of view driving, and kind of tell you guys the pros and the cons of owning this car for the last 7-8 months, and you know, how I like it versus, you know, my Crown Vic that I used to have. So let's jump into it. Alright guys, so since we're doing some point of view driving, I guess I'll talk about, you know, the whole driving aspect and, you know, gas mileage, all that stuff, since, you know, we're doing the driving bit. That was another unmarked. Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there. That is the second unmarked utility I seen. The first cop waved at me, and then another one just then. But anyway, off track. One of the very first things I noticed when I took this car for a test drive is how high you sit up compared to the Crown Vic. It almost feels like you're in an SUV, and I know other people who own this. My buddy who actually has one of these as well said the same thing. It's almost like you're in an SUV, but you're really not. And technically, the Taurus is based off the Explorer. Well, the utility and the Interceptor Sedan, they're based off. They have the same frame. They have a lot of the same. They share a lot of the same parts. So, but it's very weird. You sit a lot higher up, and I like it. And whereas the Crown Vic, you sit a lot lower. It feels, you know, like you're in a car. Well, it feels like I'm in a car, but you guys get the idea. You sit up a lot higher. With that, it's very weird. The whole viewing aspect, you know, the view that you have, it feels really scrunched up almost, kind of. It seems like you don't really have that much of a view. Everything feels like a lot smaller than in the Crown Vic. The Crown Vic, it seems like you have much more of an open space. And I think that's why a lot of people complain that this car is just a little small. It is. It's a lot more compact. For me, I don't really see a problem with it being, you know, really scrunched up. I don't really notice it as much, but I can see how an officer with a belt, you know, all his equipment, stuff like that, it does seem like it would get crowded very easily. And like I said, again, it's the view, it doesn't seem like, I don't know, it's just very compressed, if that makes any sense. Like if I put the visor down, like I have no view, I have to look down like this, you know what I mean? With the Crown Vic, it wouldn't do that. So the view that you have, the viewing angle is definitely a lot more scrunched up. And this pillar right here, for some reason, just seems very fat, if that makes any sense. And you kind of, and then you got the spotlight, obviously, and it's kind of hard, like when you're trying to turn or something, I kind of got to like look like this to make sure there's no cars or something coming, because this just whole pillar is just so massive and it's kind of blocking your view. But that's really the only thing inside and driving wise that I really don't like, is how everything kind of, like I said again, just seems very compressed, and like sometimes you gotta kind of look like a little extra, I guess. With the Crown Vic, was just a lot more open, a lot bigger. So I can see why some people say that it's really kind of crowded in here. Other than that negative part, everything else about this car I absolutely love. And I don't want to hate on the Crown Vic. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on the Crown Vic. I mean, before this car, that was the only type of cars I drove, was Panther platform. My stepdad bought me a 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis, a gold one with the grandma soft top. I'll never forget that. That was my very, very first car that my stepdad bought for me, like I said again. And after that, I bought my Crown Vic with my own money. That's how this whole channel started, and I love them. I absolutely love Crown Vics, and I hope to get another one in the future. But performance wise, just this car, just, it's better than the Crown Vic. I said it. performance-wise, it's better. Overall, it's a much more of a safer car. It's got a lot more safety features in it. You know, it's got stability control in it. It's got all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive system on this car is amazing. It's just, I love it. The only thing I think performance-wise that the Crown Vic has over this is the sound of the 4.6-liter V8. I don't think anything can beat that. This does sound good, don't get me wrong, but you really have to put your foot down to really hear the engine roar. With the Crown Vic, you can just tap that thing. You can blow on the pedal and the thing would just come to life. I loved it. But other than that, I mean, more horsepower, it's quicker. You know, like I said, again, it's all-wheel drive, so it's just really quick to respond, really quick to get up and go. And I love it. I absolutely love the power in this thing. It's only a V6, but it definitely packs a punch for sure. All right, we're gonna do some walk-arounds and stuff like that because I actually ended up coming home a little earlier, so I couldn't do any more point of view driving, and I don't really wanna keep driving around and wasting gas. But anyway, as I was talking about the all-wheel drive system, I was watching a documentary that Ford did. A documentary that Ford did on the utilities and the sedans, telling you know all the new advancements that they did and stuff like that. One of the things was the all-wheel drive system and how you know, if one side you hit a puddle or something, the torque will convert to one side where the power is needed and stuff like that. I'm not sure if all-wheel drive cars are like that, because this is my first all-wheel drive car. Like I said, again, I came from a Panther platform. That's all I own. So I'm not sure if they're like that, but it's really, really good. This past weekend we had snow, not a lot, but you know, quite a, I would say probably a couple inches, if that. And it held up really good. I actually, was in a wide open parking lot and tried to, kick the car sideways, see if it would, budge or anything. And you would really have to kind of jerk it and really give a lot of, kind of play stupid with it to really kick this car, sideways. And it has a really, really good all-wheel drive system. I love it. I probably have a clip of me playing around in the snow. It won't look. I'll probably have a driving review in the snow, once we get more snow, which this is New England. I'm pretty sure we'll get snow probably this weekend. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, that's another thing I really like is the all-wheel drive. It's such a big improvement over the Vic. I remember there's been plenty of times where we've had snowstorms and I couldn't even leave my own driveway in my Crown Vic because that's how bad it was in the snow. It's basically a four-door Mustang. Mustang stuck in the snow, Crown Vic stuck in the snow. Unless you put weight in the back to distribute it, because the Crown Vic is so front heavy, you're gonna have issues. So, or if you have snow tires, that too. Now, one of the things that people always say is that this car, has a lot of problems, this and that. And like I said, again, when I first went to go buy this car, the one thing that people just warned me about was the water pump. And actually, I know someone who has one of these, and he showed me a picture of them taking out the water pump. They literally have to take out the whole wheel, have to take out, the front axle, everything. Just the whole engine has to come out for them to fix the water pump. That's why it's so expensive, and people warned me about it because they have to take the whole engine out. I guess Ford put it at the bottom of the engine or something. I don't know, but the pictures that was sent in, I was like, holy crap, I hope that never happens. But like I said, I have a warranty that covers the water pump for 2 years or 45,000 miles. So if that ever happens, that'll be covered. Same thing with the transmission. If anything happens to the transmission, that's covered as well. And that's, one thing that people don't understand. Yeah, it may be expensive to fix if stuff go on these cars, but that's why they have warranties. The warranty wasn't that much. I think it was like an extra $2,000 or something like that. Like I said, again, for 45,000 miles or 2 years, 3 years, something like that. I don't remember. So it's definitely worth it in the end when, if you have something like that go. Obviously, it's going to cost a lot more than $2,000 to fix. So I guess since we're out here as well, we'll talk about one of the other negatives about this car is how expensive it is. I paid around $10,000 for it, and I didn't really want to spend that much, and that's why I was kind of iffy about, buying a Charger and stuff like that, because I didn't really want to spend a lot of money on an ex-cop car, because, yes, police do beat the hell out of them. There is a chance that, something can go wrong, this and that, and that's one of the reasons why I never bought the Chargers as well, because they were a bit pricey, and I didn't want to spend that much when I could buy a civilian version, and, I know that it hasn't been beat up on, but to be honest, I love driving ex-cop cars, police interceptors. I think they're awesome. I definitely think it's worth buying one of these over the civilian versions because, you do have all the upgrades and stuff, but just the effect that the car gives off is priceless. I absolutely love it. Going back driving, just a regular civilian car and just see how stupid people react on the road. And then you drive one of these and people slow down, they let you go. Stuff like, it's so much better. I love it. So spending a little bit of extra money, in my opinion, is worth it. Not too crazy, though. And then obviously that comes with another downside, is the parts for this car are extremely expensive. So the headlights is like $200 just for one unit alone. The grill, you know, it's just, everything's a lot more expensive, obviously because it's a much newer car. Other than that, everything being expensive, the car being expensive, you know, having, you know, if anything goes wrong, that's going to be expensive, you know what I mean? And then also the driving visibility is kind of I mean, you can see for sure, but like I said again, it's a little scrunched. It feels kind of like you're a little bit compressed, which to me, it's not really that big of a deal. You learn to get used to it, but those are really the only two negative things I see about this car. Like, there's really nothing else. Performance-wise, it's amazing. I mean, the all-wheel drive's amazing. The ride comfort is amazing. In all honesty, I think that this ride is a little bit more comfortable than the Vic. I really never, you know, noticed it, but, you know, when you hit a bump in the Vic, it's just a tank, you know, you feel it. But this car kind of absorbs it, and I really, really like the ride. It's a really nice, smooth ride. It's quick, fast to accelerate. Alright guys, I want to show you the gas mileage and how good it is on gas and stuff like that. Obviously this is my driving. I'm not the slowest driver in the world, I'm not the fastest driver in the world, but so let me see here. Okay, so this is my average fuel, my average MPG used in about 7,000 miles. That's roughly around where I got the car. I kind of reset the trip. So 19.1, not the best, but not the worst either. I did have it at 19.6 at one point, almost 20 miles to the gallon. But I'm not gonna lie, I did break it in a little bit. I was kind of, you know, giving a little bit more gas. Just, you know, I had the car for a little while now, and I just kind of want to play around with it more. So, almost at 20. I'm sure if, you know, you drive a little bit, you know, more careful, I guess you can say, don't have such a heavy foot like me, I'm sure you can almost get 20 miles to the gallon, no problem. But overall, it's pretty good on gas. It's not that much of a difference from the Crown Vic, I'm going to be honest with you. But it is a little bit better than the Crown Vic for sure. I have noticed that. But I mean, it's a police interceptor. You got all these upgrades and stuff that, you know, Ford throws in it. So yeah, it is gonna waste a little bit more gas. Now, a lot of you guys probably want to see the trunk as well, because if you guys own a Crown Vic, you know that the trunk, you could fit like 8 bodies in there. The trunk on the Taurus is actually not as small as people say it is. It's actually quite big. As you guys can see, I still have my push bar in here that I still want to install. It really sucks, and a lot of people have been telling me, why don't you install the push bar? You're so stupid. Guys, it's very hard to install a push bar outside in New England when it's always cold. You got wind, you got rain, you got snow. Like I said again, it was 3 degrees just the other day, and then you don't have, you know, all the right tools to do so. It's very hard to install a push bar. So the trunk's actually pretty big. It doesn't have that big divot that the Crown Vic does. That's why I had to buy this to hold all my stuff. But it does go back pretty far. You can see my push bar in here. I got my hubcaps over there. I got my cleaning supplies. Got a jack over there, and then, you know, more cleaning supplies and stuff. So it's actually quite big. It's, you know, I have no complaints about it. You know, if you're in, you know, law enforcement, a police officer, I can see how maybe you wouldn't have as much room to put all your stuff. You know, you can see they probably had a gun rack or something here. It's cut. But for me personally, I don't really see a problem with the trunk. It's good space for me anyway. Overall, I think that's going to conclude this review, this driving kind of review, this 7-month review of owning the car. And to be honest with you guys, I love it. And I've had a lot of people go out and, you know, say that, you know, hey, your videos have, you know, inspired me to go out and get an Interceptor Sedan. They're really cool, blah, blah, blah. So, and to be honest with you, they really are. If there's one thing I have to tell you guys is, people are going to tell you negative things all the time, and I've had people call me out and say that, you know, this car's junk, it's garbage, this, blah, blah, blah. You can't listen to that. You got to just keep all the negativity out, and you got to experience it for yourself. If you don't own one of these, you can't really hate on it. You can't say they're this, they're that, they're blah, 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 until you actually own it, experience it for yourself. If I were to listen to people, to be honest with you, I would have never got the Crown Vic then, because I had a lot of people tell me that the Crown Vic for junk, that police beat up on them. You're going to need a new transmission, you're going to regret it, watch, you're going to buy the car, and then something's going to happen to it, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? I still wanted the car, I went out and I bought it anyway. You only live once, so you know what, screw it. If you want it, just go for it. And I absolutely love this car, and I'm glad I went for it, because all these things that people are saying, all this and that, blah, 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 none of it seems to be true. As long as you take care of the car. This is what I always say. As long as the department beforehand took care of the car, and then you continue to take care of the car will continue to take care of you. Same thing, you know, with the Vic. People think that the Vics are like untouchable, they're godly. I love the Crown Vic, and I will say this, I do think that the Crown Vic is more reliable than this car right here, hands down. But the Crown Vic, I mean, yes, there are Crown Vics out there that do have transmission issues that, you know, it's not as likely as probably these, but they're definitely out there. So, you know, any car can have issues. It's just on how they took care of it when it was in service, and then how you continue to take care of it. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully, hopefully I'll have a snow driving video or something like that. Find a wide open parking lot and kind of show you guys how it handles in the snow. It handles very, very well in the snow. Handles very well in the rain as well. But overall, I love this car. If you guys are thinking about, you know, going out and buying one, I say definitely go for it. You know, a lot of people in the Interceptor community who are upgrading to all these new Interceptors, whether it be the Interceptor Sedan or the Utility. I think they're amazing cars. I love them. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to drop a big fat thumbs up, and I will see all of you guys in the next one.